In today's video, I'm going to be making a project using Canva. Now, I'm going to be showing you a couple of Halloween ideas, but don't worry if you don't do Halloween. This project can be translated into anything. You know, it could be used as a birthday theme or a Christmas theme or any theme that you want. So you may not like Halloween. I mean, I don't particularly like it. It's not something that I've ever kind of gone out of my way to celebrate. I occasionally did something on a small scale for my daughter when she was little, but we didn't do the trick-or-treating thing. My thinking is something Halloween, but as I say, a project that you can translate into anything for any time of year. A bit more cutesy, not scary. I'm going to be using Canva, as I say, and I'm using the free version only. I don't pay for Canva. I have used this for years and I just have the free version. I'm going to see if there are any elements in Canva that I can use, but I have also got a file saved on my desktop where I've grabbed a few things from Creative Fabrica and I've put them into a folder on my desktop. So if you're watching this on YouTube, directly under the title and the description of the video, it will probably say something like more, show more, see more, or if you're on a mobile device, it may just be like a little triangle. If you click on that, the first link generally in the description box says my website and blog. If you click on that link, it will take you to my Apple Lover 53 website. And then if you click on the blog tab and look for the thumbnail of this video, everything that I'm using, if there's a link to it from Creative Fabrica, will be in that blog post. So it'll make it easier for you to go and grab the elements if you want to try this. But like I say, this project can be translated into anything. So I'm going to go to custom size at the top of the page. I'm going to change the units to inches. And I'm going to make the width 8.25 and I'm going to make the height 11.75 because here in the UK that is the size of our A4 paper. I'm only doing that because this is going to be printed and then you could cut this with your scan and cut. So if you're anywhere else in the world and you use 8.5 by 11, you put your measurements in there. But for me, I'm just leaving it as 8.25 by 11.75 for now. And I'm going to click Create New Design. That's going to bring me up a white kind of area, if you like, at that size on my mat. So I want to make a door hanger for this project and then we're going to decorate it up, as I say, but you can do this any way you want. I'm going to probably make my own shape, but what I'm going to do is I'm in the elements section over on the left, and in the search elements box I'm going to type door hanger and see if anything comes up that we can use. I'm going to click on see all and it's bringing up like hangers. There is a door hanger there, but it's a pro feature. Anything with a crown next to it is a pro feature, which basically means you either have to have the paid for version of Canva to be able to use it for free, or when you hover over it, it will tell you here to use this premium element, either upgrade to Canva Pro or pay 99p for the license. Well, I don't want to pay. There's probably maybe a free element in here, but we can quite easily make, one ourselves. So I just thought I'd show you, how you can look for simple elements. Anyway, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back to elements and I'm going to come to shapes and I'm going to select see all. And that's going to bring up all these shapes. So my thinking is I'm going to go with something that's got a rounded top like this, and I might even do a rounded bottom as well. I'm going to drag on a corner and see how high this is. I want my door hanger to be in total about 10 inches long and maybe about 3 inches wide. So if I drag this out to 5 inches high, you can see the numbers changing in the black box. So at 5 inches wide, it's about 4.5 inches wide. I'm going to take that down to 3 and let's see how that looks. That might be a bit too pointed, so I'm going to leave it there for now, and I'm going to bring in a circle. I'm going to drag a circle out till it's 3 inches in diameter, and then I'm going to grab a square and let's make that 3 inches wide as well. Select both, align them so they're centered, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on the rectangle, grab these and put them up so this is at the same height. I'm just going to select the rectangle, I'm going to drag it down so it's come down to 3.5 inches, but the total area should be the same height of this, which was 5. So I'm going to get rid of that one now because I didn't like the shape. So I'm just going to hit delete on my keyboard, or you can hit the rubbish bin. So this now, I'm selecting both and I'm going to group it. I think this is kind of like the basic shape that I want. So with it selected, I'm going to right click and duplicate, and then I'm going to flip it or rotate it. So there's some little rotate handles at the bottom, so if I turn it round to 180 degrees and then position it so it locks onto that other one, just overlap it ever so slightly, select them both. I might have to ungroup it to align it, come to align and center it all, and let's see if it's centered, and it hasn't. So alignment, center. Okay, so I think they all look aligned. So basically I've got 4 elements. I'm going to select everything and I'm going to right click and make it all a group. Okay, you know, you could play around with some of the other shapes in here. You know, there's a rounded rectangle here that, you know, is rounded at both ends, but I kind of want my shape to be a specific height and width. I've got 3 inches wide by 9.9, which is, you know, near enough for me. So now I'm going to choose another circle. I'm going to size this circle to 2 inches, and with it selected, you can see the colour wheel up here. So that means you can change the colour. If you see any kind of colour options when you select on something, it probably means it's an SVG, and you can change the elements, you can change the colours. If you don't see a colour swatch, it tends to be that it's an image, you know, usually a PNG. So I'm going to click on the colour wheel and I'm going to choose white and make this circle white, and then I'm going to drag it onto this pink shape I've made, and when you move it about you can see orange dotted lines appear. So once I know I've got a vertical orange dotted line, I know that that is central to my shape. So again, I'm going to select all that and I'm going to group it. So that's kind of like the basic shape of my door hanger. Now I want to start adding elements. I'm going to kind of try and zoom in a bit to make this bigger. I may end up probably changing this pink background, but I just want to get the basic bones of the shape, if you like, before I start adding elements. So as I said at the beginning, on my desk I've got a folder that I've put some Halloween elements that I've searched for and looked for on Creative Fabrica. So I'm going to come to uploads, upload files. I'm going to go to the folder that's on my desktop. So I'm going to choose desktop. I've got a folder here, I called it Halloween Cats. And I've got some folders and a couple of just random images. So I'm going to click on this folder first and see what's in it. And it's all different shades of pink of pumpkins, because my thinking was to make this, you know, more of a cutesy design, and then you could put this on a child's, you know, door, rather than, you know, so they kind of get the little bit of an element of Halloween, but it's not like scary or that kind of thing Halloween. So as I said, I just went and looked for different elements. So I've got a cat, I've got some other Halloween elements that I may or may not use, and I've got other things in here. My thinking is I'm going to upload some of them. I may or may not use them. So I'm going to choose this one. So I'm going to come into this one first. I'm going to choose this one from it. I'm going to hold my shift key down and choose that one and possibly that one and upload. Then I'm going to come back to upload. I'm going to go back to my desktop, to my folder. I'm going to upload this one and I'm just going to drag in elements and see, you know, what there is that I can use. Now in this cat that I downloaded, there's a JPEG, a PNG, there's an SVG. So I'm going to choose the SVG and upload that. Then I'm going to come back to uploads, come back to my desktop, to my folder, see what else I've got. I've got elements, other elements that I could possibly use. So I might bring in these leaves, hold my shift key down and upload. So let's see what we've got. We've got all these different elements so far. And I'm going to see if I like any of them. So the first thing I'm going to do is select my cat. And it brings the cat onto my screen. I'm going to drag this out so that it's bigger and put it there for now. Like I say, I may or may not, you know, end up using this. I may go looking for something else. What we could do, if we go to elements and in the search box, we could type Halloween cat and see if anything comes up here. It says nothing. So let's just try cat. Oh, let's go to design. Halloween cat and see what there is. I might stick with the one I've got for now. So let's come back to uploads. So I've got the cat. Don't worry about the fact that this box is huge. That's, you know, once you click off it, it will disappear. So let's have a look and see what we've got now in the pumpkin. I'm going to select this one, shrink this down, put the cat behind. I'm just going to zoom in. I'm just working on the bottom of the design at the moment. Let's bring this one in and see how this one looks. Shrink this down. Let's cut off some of the... If you've got these marked, you always will have like circles in the corners. But like on this cat, I've got circles, but I've got nothing in the middle, so I can't kind of crop this down. But if you've got circles and these like little bars, it means you can drag in and kind of crop down on the image. I'm going to move that one over there for now and I'm going to put this one on here and make it bigger and see if I like this any better. So I'm just going to bring in elements and see if there's anything in particular that I like. I'll bring in the flowers. I'm going to again see like I've got these so I can bring this down a bit. And then you can drag in the corners. I quite like that because it kind of like is arched. It kind of fits in with the shape, but I'm not sure whether I like the colours or not. I'm going to put this one back and see whether I like that. Or I'm going to bring, no, let's undo because I moved the cat. So I'm going to click on the pumpkins and bring these pumpkins back and see if I like this one any better. I might rotate this a bit. So I'm kind of building up like a kind of a collage type effect. And what you've got to remember is when you just click anywhere on the page to deselect, if you're cutting this with a scan and cut or with scissors, you could just kind of follow the dark pink background. So anything that's hanging over wouldn't cut, but again what you could do, you could drag this in so it lines up with the edge like that. And the same, well, you can't do it with the cat, as I said, because the cat's not giving us the option to, you know, crop it in. But something like this you could do. I'm just going to undo that. I'm going to leave that as it is. So I kind of like this, how it's looking. but I'm not so sure about the dark pink, and I don't know whether to change the pumpkins. So again, now because this one, let me zoom in a bit more, because this one has got the bars on the side, that means I can crop this in to fall in line with the edge of my design. They're quite like that, you know. So I might get rid of that one. So I'm going to select that one and send it to the rubbish. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I don't know whether the dark pink is the colour I want. So I'm going to select on a pink area, and because I've got images on here now, it will bring up colours that are in these images. So what I could do, I could try changing this dark pink background to a colour that's included in these images. Don't like that one. Quite like that one. That's quite nice, the pale pink. So I've chosen this one. I think what I'm going to do, and it's showing you, these colours on this row are from the flowers, and these colours on this row are from the pumpkin. So I'm going to ungroup all my shapes that I started off with, and I'm going to click on the arch, and I'm going to choose that. Was the second one in, wasn't it? I'm going to click on the rectangle. Oh no, I've chose the wrong one. It's the first one. Go back, choose the first one. So basically what I'm doing, I'm changing the colour of the dark pink I started off with. I can't get it, so I'm going to, it's because the cat is so big. So I can see I've got the right one now. So I'm going to come back to this. So hopefully this now is all pink, but a different pink than I was using. So let's put the pumpkins back, line them back up to that edge, bring the cat back in. I might make the cat slightly higher so that you see more of this cutout design, and then I might rotate this back to how it was. And again, if anything overlaps the edge, because I've got these lines, I can kind of bring it in, make it a bit bigger. So that's quite cute. So this is how it's looking now. So we've got the door hanger with the circle, and then we've got the black cat, which is a pain because I can't crop this in. I'd like to be able to crop this in really. What might be easier? Let's go back. Let's go to uploads, upload file, back to desktop, and look for the cat. And what I might do is bring in the PNG and see if that makes it any easier for me to crop the cat a bit better rather than using the SVG. So let's get that one out of the way for now and bring in the PNG. This looks a bit more promising. So if we take it down, see here I've got the handles on the side now. So I'm going to get rid of the SVG. And I'm going to put the cat on here. I'm going to zoom in so you can see better what I'm doing. Now I want the cat to be on top of the pink element, so it's behind the pumpkin and the flowers. So with the cat selected, I'm going to come to position. I'm going to say backwards, which has sent it behind these flowers, but I'm going to say backwards again so it goes behind the pumpkins. So now it's sat on top of the pink elements that I created at the beginning, but it's behind these elements, and now I can kind of bring it in and let's see how it looks. I want the cat to obviously look bigger than the pumpkins. See on here I've got these handles, so basically I can crop that off like so. So that's all you see, which I think looks quite nice. I might just bring the cat up a little bit more like so. Or in fact just take it down a little bit. So I think this is coming together quite nice. I don't want to spend too long on it. I want to kind of show you, you know, just a simple cutesy kind of Halloween idea that you could, you know, use to decorate a child's door for Halloween. So I think now I'm going to add some text. So I'm going to click on text, and I'm just going to grab where it says add a heading, and I'm going to, you could put Happy Halloween, or you could put, let's put Hannah's room. Let's choose a different font. Let's look for, I'm going to make this smaller by using the minus against the font size at the top here. And I'm going to position this up here. I may not end up using this font yet. I'm going to zoom in a bit so you can see what I'm doing. So that font's called Poppins. I want to see if there's anything else that's... So when you click on it, it will change. And then up here, you've got whether you can change it to uppercase or upper and lower. Not so sure I like that. That one's quite nice. Etna Sans Serif. Let's go with that at the moment. And then what you can do, with it selected, I'm going to hit the duplicate icon. And that will bring me on a duplicate in the same font. But I'm going to double click to highlight the font. And I'm going to put something like enter if you dare. I think it's a bit... Sure if that's better. Quite like that one. Let's change this one. This one's called Lolita 1. I think that's a bit better. So let's position it and make it bigger. So I'm just kind of playing around with it. Let's see if there's anything we can do with this text. So let's go to, let's choose enter if you dare. Go to effects. We could add a shadow around it, which is lift. Let's take the intensity up and see. I'm not so sure I like lift. Let's try shadow. Let's try changing the shadow to white. Go back to effects. The offset, let's make the offset bigger and see if it... No, let's try playing around with the direction. There we go. Let's change the transparency on it. So now we've got enter if you dare kind of highlighted in white. Let's maybe do the same with Hannah's room. So we'll go to effects, we'll go to shadow, we'll take the transparency up to 96, I think it was, on the other one, and we'll change it to white again. So this is how it's looking now. So it says Hannah's room, enter if you dare. And then let's see if there's any other little elements we can add in. So let's go to elements. Let's choose Halloween. See if there's anything in Canva. Search elements. Halloween. Right, that's better. You can use graphics, photos, videos. Let's be on under graphics and let's say see all, and see if there's anything that we can just add in to make this, you know, maybe pop out a bit more. I've got some elements, as I say, in a folder from Creative Fabrica, but I'm just wanting to see if there's anything in here. Maybe I'll go to my folder. So I'll go to uploads, upload file, back to my desktop, to my folder where I saved all the bits and pieces from Creative Fabrica. Go to the folder with the elements in. They're all JPEGs, so I don't think they're going to be any good. See if there's anything extra in here. I'll bring this JPEG in, but I think this is all one image, so this is probably might not be any good to us. So I'm going to select it and it's going to bring it on to the screen. Now, if I wanted, you can see there's some little bats there. So I could crop this out because I've got those bars, but it's got a white background and I don't particularly like that. No, I'm not going to use that. Maybe what I need to do is do it this way. Hannah's room, come to the line spacing and take the line, no, not letter spacing. Take the line spacing so that comes closer together. That looks better. Then I can make this bigger now. So maybe I could do it like that. So I've got Hannah's room and then enter if you dare. That looks better. So it kind of fills up the shape a lot better now. Like I say, at the bottom here, when you're cutting this out, you're going to have to, you know, you're going to lose some of those leaves, but you know, that's just the way it is, unless you wanted to fussy cut around all of that. But you can still see the pink in the background, so you could easily follow that shape. You know, you could come down here and follow it around. I think that's looking really cute. It's not scary, but it's cutesy, and it would be, you know, maybe a way of appeasing a child that, you know, wants to do Halloween, but you might not maybe like it. So from here now, I'm going to select everything and I'm going to group it. Okay, so we already know that it's 3 inches wide, and it was, what was it, 9.9 inches high originally. It's going to be a little bit higher now because of the flowers hanging over, but like I say, you know, you could just follow that curve and, you know, cut those leaves off. I'm going to come to the top of the page here where it says Hannah's room. It's taking the text from what I wrote here. So I'm going to write Halloween door hangers and just hit enter, and then I'm going to come to file and save, and that's going to save it into my Canva projects. And then I'm going to click on the plus to add a page, so that's going to give me a second page. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to select this, copy, go to my second page and right click or choose paste, and that's going to bring the hanger on. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to ungroup, I'm going to get rid of all the flower and the room elements, and I'm going to just keep the hanger, and I'm going to group that. And now I'm going to kind of make maybe like a more traditional style. So let's come to then in uploads. I've already dragged in some elements. I'm going to choose this dog. Again, these will all be linked in the accompanying blog post. And then you can see I've got the 4 dots in the corner, which enable you to resize this. But I've also got these bars on the kind of like north, south, east and west. That means I can crop this down and then I can resize it. So I'm going to put him kind of here. Just going to zoom in. I want him so I get the word boo. Then I'm going to drag this in to crop this down to the edge so he fits. And I'm going to crop this one in. And then I'm going to leave the bottom because I might add some elements. So we've got that so far. I'm going to come to elements, and I'm going to type in Halloween elements, and let's bring in this cobweb and see how this looks. Might put this cobweb behind him if I can do that. So I'm going to kind of position it. I'm going to go to position and send it to the back so it's like behind the dog. Click on it and I can kind of bring it down, or that looks quite cute. I'm going to come back to elements and drag in a few shapes, see if there's anything that we can kind of use at the bottom. I'm going to rotate this. Don't know if I'm going to use this yet, but with it selected, I'm going to come to position and bring it forward so it's in front of his feet. Then there's some leaves. Let's see how these are going to look. Make them smaller, rotate them, put these along the bottom. I'm trying to keep kind of zoomed in a bit so you can see what's going on. So when I select this one, I've got colours, which means I can change the colours. So if we go to the orangey colour, maybe change this one to a darker colour. And what it's doing, it's picking up the colours from this sprig I've got on here. So could maybe make this one smaller and, you know, have some kind of leaves scattered around the bottom. Let's type in autumn leaves. Oh, these look interesting. Let's have a look at this one. Let me zoom out a bit. Drag this one up. Get rid of that one. So this is all I do. I kind of play around and just see. This one's quite nice actually. Let's get rid of that one. See, now with this one we can drag in and we could kind of rotate. But what I'm also going to do, I'm going to click on my door hanger shape. I'm going to come up to the colour swatch I'm going to change it to one of the colours that's in the hanger. So I'm thinking that I'm going to make it this kind of pale beigey colour that it's picking up. Let's move that out of the way so I can get this pink. Right, this is looking better. So lining back up. This is quite nice. Let's try this. So let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Let's move him back up a bit. Bring this one in. This looks quite nice. Could stretch this out a bit. Crop the sides in so it fits in. Yeah, I like that better. You can still, you know, follow the shape. You could move it up a bit more like that so you could see the shape a bit more. Or you could just, you know, make it square at the bottom if you wanted to. Maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe we'll make this one square. So this one will be a square bottom and leave the other one as it was. So I think this is looking cute. The flowers are on top of him, so that looks more realistic. Crop this to the edge. Yeah, I'm liking this. So now we can, again, add a name. So let's come to text. Choose a heading. Let's do Rory's room. No idea who Rory is. Just making it up as I go along. With the text selected, let's go to line spacing. Make the words go closer together. Change the font. Position it so it's central. Let's go to effects. Let's add a shadow again. We'll make the shadow white. And we'll make the transparency 96 like I did the other one. So it just makes it pop off the page a bit more. That's nice. I'm going to come back to line spacing again and make them a little bit closer. And then again, we'll duplicate it. And then this time, we'll highlight this text and we'll put enter if you dare, exclamation. And we'll make it smaller. And because I copied the original, it's bringing in the shadow and everything. So that's how we've got that one. So we've got the basic shape, we've got Rory's room, enter if you dare, we've got the dog and we've got the pumpkins. It's because I added a page to the original, it's still called Halloween door hangers, but what I am going to do is go to file and save to update it on Canva so that it saves both pages. And then from here, all as you would need to do is go to share, go to download. If you're going to try and do this as a print and cut, so if you're going to print it and then scan this through your scan and cut to see if it will cut the outline for you, you would go to PDF print. So you'd change it to PDF print. And then here we've got 2 pages in this design. So you can either print both pages or you can choose whether you deselect everything and you can choose whether you want to just, you know, print the pink page or print the beige page or print both. And then you would click done and then you'd click download and it would download whatever you've chosen. So either the pink, the beige or both. So I think they look really, really good. I'm going to try and just going to select everything here and make it all a group. And then I'm going to go back to page 1. I'm going to copy this, come back to page 2 and paste. And you've got them side by side now to see how they look. And I think they look really nice. So you've got your own door hanger. This one's got the rounded bottom, so you know you could follow the curve. This one I just made more square by putting the flowers over it. You could do the same with that one if you wanted. So I think that's really good. So I hope you found this helpful. I will, as I say, list everything that I use from Creative Fabrica in the accompanying blog post. As I said earlier, if you're watching on YouTube, in the description says my website and blog. Go to my blog, look for the thumbnail of this video, and that will take you to the blog and everything will be listed there. Alternatively, if you're watching on my blog, then everything is listed in the blog post. So I hope you found that helpful. Please give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.